All righty, we're on just a few minutes, 15, 20 seconds early for those of you that are already here. Give me 1 second. Is the frequency in use? Is the frequency in use? Obviously not. For the Mount Juliet Simplex radio net, is there any emergency or priority traffic? If it was, you would already answered me, or you would have interrupted me, or you would have been talking already. So there isn't. But if you have any, don't hesitate to jump in there. And for information, YouTube right now, you can look me up on look up the YouTube feed, which gives us, again, we have images of the radio there, so you can see how your relative stuff goes on there. But that's on YouTube. In the search block, it's either under my call, K4PE. Brain Trusts, the channel name, BRAINTRUSTS. Or you can see us on what else? Oh, on the groups, GROUPS Oscar, it's IO, and look up the word MJSS if you're not already on the list. By the way, there's about 9 for Simplex anyway, or they just like to get emails a couple times a week. But that, and let's see, also you can send me an email, K4PEW@ARRL. We normally meet at 8 p.m. every Wednesday and Saturday night. Tonight we conduct a net on 146.415. Really like our website, except with a decimal in it. And the purpose of the net is to have fun, help each other get better operating practices, better everything, and be of service to your family, friends, community, and have fun in the process. This is net number 560, and we'll be starting. We had a breakfast this morning where there was about 11 of us. There was a 10 or 11. I lost 10 or 11 of us. And at Courtney's this morning. Last week we had quite a few more, but anyway, it doesn't matter. And we do that twice a month, the second and fourth Tuesday. Man, you're supposed to be there. And tonight we're doing the 2-meter 6415, which will be followed by the buy, sell, swap, and swindle net, followed by the 2-meter upper sideband net. So be prepared. We will be doing all of those things, and hopefully we can cruise right through it and not spend an hour and a half, but who knows. Anyway, also I've got a printout that I'm going to be sending. I'm going to print out, but I've got a file I'm going to send out of the people who are on the email, and can kind of get a gander of who's on the list and see if they know anybody. See if they know anybody on the list. Hold on, let's see. Well, that's to do. I knew that my house of mirrors would come crashing down. It's very precariously. I need a radio engineer and a mirror engineer. On, let's see, where was I on this point here? Oh, yes, we were going to start the net. We're starting from the south, and again, it's number 560. 4P. My call is K4PEW. My name is Paul, and we'll start taking check-ins from the south. Please come now. MPV. How you doing, Terry?
Right about the time you were all leaving.
You know, family, work, church come before we do, so I appreciate you being here tonight.
Yeah, okay, Paul. Glad to be here, man. That's a couple hours after you get in.
Oh, no, you would. Your health.
Yeah, I mean, maybe 20 years ago or so, maybe, yeah, but it's not getting in.
Nap after I ate breakfast.
I copy that. And when you get up in age just a little bit, it knocks on the door for you and lets you know it's there. And I think those naps come in a little handy sometimes. I was in kindergarten, you know, but I guess you go back to kindergarten, I guess.
Kindergarten is, you know, they had made us lay down on these blankets or whatever it was for nap. remember the one kid, he was a friend of mine. He actually fell asleep, man. We made fun of him forever.
I hear you. Well, I'll through with it tonight, and hello to everybody on the net, and hope you enjoy the rest of your weekend there. And thanks for the good work you do, Paul.
Yeah, very good, Terry. That was Terry in Murfreesboro. He works all hours of the night and didn't get in until early breakfast, but we're happy to have him there. He's been there before. That's Kilo Mike 4, Mike Papa Victor, and he's in Murfreesboro. Who's next, South?
And I'm doing well, Paul, and you're looking good there. And the feed on YouTube, but you probably look better on the radio.
Yeah, I think so. That's why I'm not in show business. They told me no way.
Well, hope you had a good day today. At least we got a little more. And I actually went out to the garage and did some searching around for parts to off center fed dipole. So didn't get anything more than that done, but I did get a little bit done towards it.
No, sounds good. A little bit helps. That's what I like about this net. Really, it helps these nets, I should say, and it kind of promotes everybody to do something if they're.
That's right. Although I have had some volunteers come over and help, but I don't know. They might eat up all my food and drink up all the beer.
Well, yeah, that's the price.
Plenty of insurance, but anyway, have a great night. Have a great evening. NAPPY.
Yeah, very good. That's forward to the 2-meter net later. Who else is South? Please come out.
You are.
Hey, you jumped in there early there, Ed. How you doing?
Well, every once in a while I got to sneak in early. About a few miles out of Shelbyville there. We're ready for another, I guess.
I don't know if it's going to snow again. Even my one car still had ice on the windshield that I had to heat up the car in order to scrape it off the windshield. Still out there in the windshield.
Well, we put up a carport there and hoping that would all work, but that blowing snow still.
Oh, yeah, well, truthfully, if I have a garage, but it's full of other stuff.
Yeah, I appreciate it, Paul. Hang on there. Thanks for letting me in. Thanks for hearing me. Kilo Delta 4 Zulu Golf Yankee. Have a good day, Paul.
Yep, you're doing fine. You're in Shake Rag, just a mile or 2 or 3 outside of again there, Ed. Who else, Sal?
K4OFO.
Hey, Donnie, what's up with you, man? I'm glad.
Doing all right. Sorry I missed the breakfast. I just plumb forgot it. Just forgetful territory, I guess, when you get a little older.
Well, just do this. Just show up there every Saturday. That way you'll never miss the 2 we have.
That's probably what I need to do. That way, yeah, it's good to hear you on the net tonight. And I don't have anything any further, but been trying to straighten out some. Well, anyway, I'm proud of that. Made some good contacts this week with that. I think I'm on medium power. I'm not sure.
Oh, you've talked to me on HT and been S9.
Yeah, that's surprised me. Well, I'll let you go on with it. Thank you for everything. Talk to you later.
Yeah. Yeah, very good, Donnie. That was Foxtrot Oscar. He's about 5 or 6 miles south of me here on the east side of Mount Juliet Road. Who else is hold on, we had TYJ first. Jim, how you doing?
I'm doing good today, and I didn't hear anybody else key up, and I apologize. It was this morning. I had to go to town in the afternoon to do some shopping. Fairly good day.
Well, let me know if you're in the vicinity. I got those mics you might want.
Taken into consideration. Yeah, the XYL. She blamed me. Well, I said I blamed her in the morning. It wasn't going to work, so I said, "Don't worry, we'll take a rain."
And you told me about that earlier. Now, of course, it's no problem. We enforce the no rules that we do have.
That's what I really like about the club is the strict enforcement of the no rules, and I mean it just makes it a very nice.
That's right. If you're not careful, we're going to enforce the no dues rule as well.
And I will mind my.
Go Yankee Juliet, and he is in Woodbury. You notice him? Right, very good, Jim. Woodbury, that was Jim. Who else, Sal?
Yeah.
Man, you must have had either a funeral or a marriage this morning to avoid that breakfast.
Birth. And I got a little bit of a cold, so I don't think anybody wants that passed around.
No, you're right. We did use though.
Yeah. Well, I hope everybody's doing okay.
Yeah, man. You.
Hey, it's yes, sir, to you. Few months.
Yeah, I know. No, I'm sorry you don't feel. Hope you don't doesn't develop any worse than what you got now. You sound. Oh, yeah. That virus gets expensive after.
Yeah. All right. Have a good one. Thanks for doing the net. W4EVA.
Yeah, very good. That's Eddie, W4 Bravo X-ray. He is in Gladeville, just south of 40 and east of 171 Mount Juliet Road. Who else south? Hey, hold on there. November Delta November. I had Mike Tango. Is that correct? What was the first name there?
It's Dave Franklin. You met me at breakfast a couple weeks ago.
Oh yeah. Sorry about that. I don't think you're on. It's funny you said that. I put together the people that have
I am on the email list. Well, I'm on the
MJSS reflected. On that, well, it's on the. Is it well? I don't know. Is it under your call?
It's Dave at W5DMC.com.
It must not be listed as your call. It's Dave Tipton. I had it down. There was no call attached. I should have realized there was a call in there. Whiskey 5DMT. My mistake. Sorry about that.
All good, brother. All good. I've just never checked into what.
Yeah, no, that's good. Well, I noticed that. See, I said this, and so sometimes when I looked at it recently, I saw a couple of new names. I don't think I've talked to a couple of those people, but out of 90 that are on the list, we probably had over time. The last time I did a count, it was up around 150, but that was 2 years ago. So I'm suggesting that maybe it's closer to 200 people have actually checked in. 90 on the email.
Yeah, I'm not sure how I got on the list, but somebody added it. I did not. That's okay.
Because I have to, if it is spam, I eliminate it usually before anybody. I haven't had that problem on this list that I'm aware of. Well, very good, Dave. And that's in Frankly. Your signals, what kind of antenna are you using there, Dave?
Just a little 6-foot 3.
A 6-foot what? Okay. And how high up is it?
I think the very top of it's about 25 feet.
Okay. Not necessarily a good place because some of that's kind of low. I had problems before, but I know that, and you're using a 50 watts?
Yes, the interstate, so I bounced.
No, that's what I'm saying. You're about, I don't know if you can see the meter on the YouTube, but you were bouncing around S1. So, but I can hear you. It's just a little low signal. That's all.
Understood. Back to you, let you have it back. W5DMC.
Yeah, very good. That was Dave in Franklin, Whiskey 5 Delta. I'd like to have his antenna up another 100 feet. We'd be fantastic. I wish everybody would do that. All right, David, I heard you. How you doing, David?
All right. Good evening, Mr. Paul. Everybody on net. I'm doing fine. I was unable to hear that last.
Shake Rag is. I'm trying to remember if he is you.
Yeah, I would guess. I don't know, is that a little bit southwest of me, but it's kind of amazing me. It just slides right through by me.
Well, as you know, has to do with it. You know how you get your signal, and maybe the next time he checks in, you may be able to hear him just fine.
Yeah, I might have heard him more. an Omni directional. If I just had you donate me one of them X700s, I'd be all right.
How many?
How many donations you got?
No. How many do you need? How many antennas? And we can supply all of Reedyville.
Hey, I can't. I guess we need to get Ed one too.
Ed doesn't need one. He's got a great signal.
He said, "What you doing there, old man? Carry on. KI4NT."
That's David. He's in Reedyville. It's Kilo India 4 November Delta November, and he's got a good signal for the distance he's at. I think he's at about 30. And there are terrain issues from some areas, and his is one of them. He's always had a good signal, though, a decent signal, a readable signal, except when he tries to do QR. Hey, Carl, you down to one antenna still?
Bergendale and the UPS since we swapped the hex beams out. 55-foot radials and the soggy nest, but I was mad and did it.
Yeah, this rain has left everything soggy, hasn't it?
That was awful. Snow was pretty while it lasted. So I got that done before, the snow came. The night before I finished up the last of the 4 radials. So I guess I get to mop floors in the morning very, very early and try to clean up a bit before she gets back tomorrow.
Yeah, see, that's my wife still works, and she works today is one of her work days, and so she gets home about 3:45. So around 3 to.
I live your pain, man. I understand that completely, but kind of surprised. 2 meters is behaving really well over here. So I guess my QSB sources are all solid.
Oh, good. Yeah, you're doing about S9 today. I don't know if that's normal. Are you running full power?
100 watts.
Oh, you're doing 100? 100?
9700.
Okay. I'd forgotten that had 100. Huh. Yeah, the only one I knew that had that I remember, TS2000.
Yeah, it's got 100. That's about all she'll do, though. I've got to obtain a little bit more for later down the road as far as horsepower goes whenever we figure out what we're going to do for the all the HS stuff and get that out of the way. And we're so like I could smell the popcorn at the finish line of the hog race at the county fair.
How much power are you looking to do on? Are you going to do some?
Yeah, about 1500 watts.
Oh, that's. And see, I mean, if I remember correctly, it's up on 2 meters and down.
Yeah, actually, probably would be more like as high as I think I want to go around here on 2 would be. It is directional, and you go 20T, so probably 1,000 watts is about as much you want to throw at it. 500 would get it done, but yet.
Yeah, that's power. I have heard that. I have heard satellites, but it's not going to get me any awards for QSOs with it.
Yeah, well, it's not going to happen tomorrow. I can promise you that. I dropped a financial bomb on this tower. I had no idea what I was getting into a year.
Yeah, I know what you're saying. All of a sudden you realize that hey, it was a little more.
Yeah. It starts at City Hall and it ends in
bankruptcy. Because once you get something like a tower up, and then you go, well, this, and then you go, I'd like a little bit, and then all of a sudden you realize, the tower was one of the costs, and then all the other stuff's another couple of grand, or maybe.
Gosh, it never ends. It's like having kids again.
Except mostly.
Yeah, mostly. We haven't seen any good lovely little straight line winds we get. Well, we had a few of those, and it held up real well. I don't worry about the tower. It's just the trees and break. That's not a big deal for dipoles. But yeah, the hex beam's not quite as easy a repair job as one would hope.
Anything else though, and people do forget that the more stuff you have outside, the more maintenance ultimately that has.
I guess W5DMT and I went with the BX Tower, which is, of course, kind of the riveted in kind, and they went with the good solid universal towers, and I kind of wish I'd done that now, but those rivets have a way of popping out, and you're going to be putting in either new rivets or nuts in the future, right?
Yeah. And that tower is made of what? That one you just mentioned?
The one of TBX Towers, 32-footer. It wasn't very expensive at the time. It was only like $800, but that's been a year and a half ago when I ordered it. The difference between them and the Universals. If I had to do it today, I'd probably aluminum like N4 DJT's guys. Three of us walked that thing up like it was just nobody's business. First pull up on it.
Huh. Yeah, I'm not sure I'm ready for the tower yet. I'm doing all right, but besides, I got to get it. I have to. When my wife goes blind, I'll probably get one.
Yeah, you better wait. The shiny metal thing in the yard with the upside down umbrella on it is an eyesore. I just see pure beauty and a lot of money.
Well, I think you might have heard me tell that I put up that X700. I moved it up and on a taller mast on the chimney mount, which is the chimney mount. The top of the chimney is at 18 feet above an M squared beam, and I did that a year ago. And just a few weeks ago, we're going out to the car. We were going somewhere, and she goes, "You did something different with the antenna." It was 18, 19, 20 months. Kind of horizontal, go straight line back and forth. I go, well, 20 months ago. I'm surprised you just noticed it.
You do a good job stealthing, Paul. I'm going to have to come take lessons, I think.
You see, you and I and everyone else on the net can drive down the street and you'll spot up. They don't care.
Oh, Lord, every time I used to drive down either POP tower or even down at the end of my neighborhood, that before you are, Myron lives down there. And I'd drop out of it's a miracle I didn't hit somebody walking on the side of the road because all you can do is look up.
Yeah, I know. But again, it's just the nature of people in ham radio from where she lived. And I said, "Hey, that guy's got a ham antenna." She goes, "What?" Just believe me, I know. I didn't bother to explain it to her.
Come on back when you got a few weeks and we'll go through the tech license, right?
No, you know what I'm saying. It's just people who aren't in this just not paying that attention to it. They don't know what they're looking at and they don't care. They don't even know roofs have houses have roofs.
Shingles or not, a metal roof maybe. Tell you what, you just jumped up to about 15 over on me, man. Your signal just outstanding.
No, nothing's changed. Well, very good, Carl. Good to hear from you in there. I'm sorry, we had a good time. That was Carl. November India 4 Delta. November India 4. Darn. Name that town again. I keep forgetting the name of it.
Brentwood.
That's right. It's Brentwood. You know what? I'll have to remember it because Brentwood's the same place, but a different state as O.J. Simpson. I don't like it either, but it makes me remember it.
Okay. I want to have found something else for you to remember me by.
No, it's just funny how you make these connections in your head. Okay. All right, very good. That was Carl in Brentwood, November, India, 4 else south.
Keeping it Brentwood, KN4VKX.
KN4V.
System changed since the last time we spoke. No longer on Brentwood 281, kicking out 65 watts, and even updated the antenna to the comment.
Are you on the email list? There's another one I don't see on my list.
Negative. Be nice to have you add me to it, though.
Oh, okay. I have to send an invite. Now, your email address is it on QRZ? Yeah, I'll put a star there for you. Very good. First name?
Andrew.
Andrew, there we go. And you're also in Brentwood? Okay, just want to keep it straight in my mind here. But anyway, you see now you said you got a GP9?
Yes, have a GP9.
Yeah, that's a nice antenna.
Yeah, it's working out really well. It's really impressive.
So you're doing a great job.
Mind if I kick it down to low and see how that comes into it?
Yeah, hit it on 5 if you can.
Okay, and for VKX on low power.
Well, that's just a hair under S9.
Fantastic. Well,
Yeah, no, it's we 10 meters. I forgot, and I did the whole net on 10 meters, and we had like I think 10 check-ins, and then I don't hear, because I wouldn't necessarily hear everything. And then one of the fellows says, "Hey, your signal's low tonight. What's the story?" It shouldn't be because you're relatively same antenna, same. I looked over the radio and I was on 5 watts instead of 100.
yeah, I guess that'd make a little difference.
Everybody copied me. That was what was fascinating to me. But I did pick, somebody else finally did hear me. He was farther away. So
from listening to you for a while, it really makes a difference as to the antenna that you.
oh yeah, no, the antenna and of course elevation. Those two things. Elevation is really king because you could put up a quarter wave, ground plane. If you can get it up, I don't know where, depending on where you live, 50 feet, 80 feet, depending on what you can. Necessarily have to have a super efficient antenna if you've got the elevation, as you know.
Absolutely. Stand by. I have one more check-in for you from Brentwood. VKY.
Was that Vic? Yeah, you stretched my memory there for a second because I don't think. What's your first name there? All right, very good. That's Blake. Bravo Lima Alpha Kilo Echo. You sound like okay. I'm gonna ask a silly.
I am in 6.
Oh, awesome. That's great. So when did you get your license, Blake? Oh, really recent. That's fantastic. Have you spent much time on the air at all?
Lots.
Oh, great. Glad you're having fun because as I've realized in life, if it's not fun in the hobby, there's no reason to do it.
Well, it's fun making contacts far away.
Oh yeah, very much. HF, are you getting an HF as well?
Yes, sir, a lot.
Oh, that's great. Yeah, that's ultimately that's where a lot of the fun is. Takes all over the world. Oh, very good, Blake. Glad to have you in there. Okay, of course, that's Blake's first time on the net, and that as well from Brentwood. And Andrew's call is Kilo November 4 Victor Kilo X-ray. Excuse me, November Kilo November. We have Blake Kilo November 4 Victor Kilo Yankee, and both in Brentwood, of course. Who else is Sal?
For VKW.
Victor.
Okay, well, hold on, Larry. Did I get that wrong? It's VKW Whiskey Velo, correct? Okay, now I got it right. All right, in there as well. And I think I heard Larry in there. Larry, you doing all right? Good to see you this morning.
New call. This is KN4VKW.
Very good. Thanks, Blake. Larry, go ahead.
New call. This is KN4VKW Ryan.
Oh, I thought my mistake. Hold on, Ryan. So that's the two of you in there. Kilo November 4. Hold on, Larry. VK and the VK. Oh, now my scribbling is good. Oh.
Mine is KN4VKW Ryan, KN4VKX Andrew, and my brother's is KN4VKY Blake. K and Y.
Gotcha. Very good. Appreciate it, Ryan. Good to have you in there. What grade are you in?
I am in
5th? 5?
5. QSO.
Ah, very good. You sound like you're doing a good job.
I am.
Work, you guys. It's good to have you on the air. And obviously your dad's doing a good job with you. All right, Larry, Kilo November, what you call? SYV.
I went to get amplifier. They're walking all over me tonight.
Would you?
All right, man. We'll let you get on with it. KE4SYV.
Yeah, very good. That was Larry. He's in Rockville. Kilo Echo. We're getting a bunch from the south tonight. Who else is south? To the east. East, please come down. That sounds like a perfect double or triple or something. But I think I heard James in there. He's usually the first one eat.
You doing?
All right, I did get James. Whiskey Alpha 4 Zulu Hotel. Yeah, Zulu Hotel India. Almost got us confused there, James. You doing all right? You get your nap in after the breakfast?
Yeah, a little while after you got home.
No, it's always good. It's always good to being on the air is always good. Person adds that other element to it that makes it nice.
Yeah, a lot of nice folks.
Oh yeah, very much so. In Mount Juliet, northeast of the library. Hold on, West TWI Kilo 4 India Delta Charlie Robin. How are you? It was good to see you at breakfast.
Thank you. It's good to be there. Always enjoyed it. Carry on. Get west. K486.
Call south twice. We took in 15, 14, 15. You're the 16th person in the south. Oh, the south has already risen. Okay. Well, very good. Were you hearing that station up in Cotton Town for the first time this afternoon?
The first time that I recall, yeah.
Okay, now you would just want to make sure your new antennas obviously are working much better than they used to.
Yeah, I'm pretty pleased with it today.
Well, as time goes on, obviously you'll see improvement, or you do improvements, and it'll get better and better as we work forward. I will. Wes, how you doing?
Doing from Brentwood, so that new antenna he got.
You heard everybody who was in Brentwood? How long you've been out?
Well, there was a couple of people south I heard. I think Terry was the first one to check in, but people improving their station.
Oh yeah, no, there's like I said, it's a phenomenon to how many people have improved their 2 meters, but in some areas like yours, it certainly helps.
You do what you can with what you got. All right, go ahead. I'm good here. KE4TW.
Yeah, very near Watertown in an undisclosed location, and just east. Please come down.
KN4LXH.
Hey, Jimmy, how are you?
Doing pretty good. Antenna up another few feet, about another 8 feet, and looks like I'm hearing a little bit more, not much.
Well, now you are dead right now.
Yeah, you're about 60 over here also. So, but of course, like you said, there's only about 5 miles in between us.
The antenna's performing pretty well, I'd say, but you think you're hearing more stations?
Yeah, there's a couple I didn't hear. Let's see, I didn't hear him. Let's see, KD4ZGY and Chevrolet and W5DMT. I could not copy him in Franklin.
Well, Franklin was a fairly low signal, and I'm not surprised. 5 miles or so, and a few bumps in the road between him and you. So,
there to the south, I have fewer obstructions. It's just
yep, I know which one you're talking about. Down the road a ways.
Yep, waiting for warmer temperatures.
That was Jimmy. He's here in Mount Juliet, up by Lebanon Road and near the high school. Kilo November 4 Lima X-Ray Hotel. New antenna here recently, and it seems to be performing very well. Who else is east?
Kilo Echo 4 Delta Echo.
Here today, but I was in the middle of. I think that was this morning, actually. I don't remember. Whatever it was, I was busy and I couldn't get to the radio.
Okay. Yeah, I think I talked to General Motors reject a little bit this afternoon. They kind of ran in together. The old Icon 746 Pro 3 back from the repair shop. So I've been kind of tinkering around with it. There was a 10-meter band in Virginia. It kind of.
Yeah, I heard about that, but I knew if I got involved, I wouldn't get it done.
Yeah, there you go. That's the way I've been pacing the floor back and forth and doing a little bit of disk and getting all that stuff dusted off, piled up. Well, it's just one of those there rearranging the little thing. 746. That's a big radio. But anyway, this is big. Daggone howdy wave out there to everyone that can hear my propagation out there on 9700 and a bigger antenna. Stick City of Cedar City. Catch you later, Paul. Keep on keeping on with your bad self. Everyone else out there, enjoy the ride. KE4 DEZ73.
Just don't do that. Anyway, that was Earl, Kilo Echo 4 Delta Echo Zulu. He's down just east of Cedars of Lebanon in Noreen, I believe it's called. And he's got a good signal for where he is because he's got a lot of obstructions between me and him. So his signal's never perfect, although. Hey, Stan. Hey, when I was on the.
I could barely hear you, but not.
Okay, that's what I presumed because you came back to me after I went back up to 100.
Yeah, I could kind of hear what you were saying, but.
Yeah, no, well, I guess I'm just a lid on that night where I didn't realize I was doing 5 watts. Oh yeah, no, it's we're not that far apart, but yeah, I'm just glad you were able to hear me anyway. But no, it was a good net.
Horizontal and not vertical like y'all do.
Right. Of a little bit north of 11 to Town Square, Kilo Mike 4 Hotel. Who else east?
WD4 BWC.
Bragging about that new radio again, I hope.
Yeah, it's doing wonderful.
Yeah, good. Have you done anything?
Just a little bit.
Okay, good. Well, you sound good. You sound fantastic.
Awesome. Good report. Thank you. That's a few that I haven't heard before.
Huh. Oh, that's much better. Oh yeah, no, you're doing fantastic. Well, let's put it this way: you're doing what you need to do, especially for the other net that you do, getting into those 2 repeaters. So, a great deal.
Thank you for the report, WD4BWC. Listening.
Yeah, that was Jim, and he's what was called his Whiskey Delta 4 Bravo Whiskey Charlie new radio and a moved antenna up to a higher area, and he's east. Anybody else east? Up to the north, then. Nobody north. Hey, how are you doing? I haven't heard. I don't think you've checked into the net before, have you?
Well, yeah, man, I've for years, but ever since 7:30 became my bedtime, I miss them.
I know what you're saying. Are you doing all right though tonight?
Oh yeah, this is Otis. I'm over in Hendersonville.
100 watts to get to me, Otis. We're right across the river from each other.
I'm trying to get over at Earl. I can't never get Earl. I just thought maybe I could get to him tonight, but I can't. Okay.
Very good. That's Otis. He's in Hendersonville. Kilo November 4, Foxtrot Alpha X-ray. Might be the oldest person. You want to tell me how old you are, Otis?
93.
93. There you go. I'm confident you're the oldest one on the air. You got me by only 23 years. So, well, very good, Otis. I'm glad you could check in. That was Kilo November 4, Foxtrot in Hendersonville. And his name is Otis, O-T-I-S. Good to have you in there, Otis. Who else? Go back to bed now. That's where I'm going to head.
What I heard him, KE4 DEZ.
Ah, very.
Well, I appreciate that, Earl. I can try to catch another.
Okay. Yeah, I heard you in there, and I went from my ground plane to my third, and it's somewhat pointed up your way. I just thought I'd let you know. I don't know if you can roger me, but anyway, KE4 DEZ back to net.
CAD 4DZ, CAD 4FX. All I got I could just barely copy the noise level. We'll get together again. Maybe D-Star tomorrow.
All right, very good. Conditions were a little messed up between the two of you, but you could both hear each other, and Earl could hear Otis pretty good. Kilo.
Hey, good evening to both of those gentlemen on D-Star. Kind of becoming regulars.
Oh, good. Like I said, if I had a D-Star radio, I'd be doing a D-Star Net Simplex. Just gather up everybody together. You've already kind of started that in a way.
For a few years, Bill and I just talked on the way home. You know, when everybody, Earl got a 9700 like I got, and he got one. He started talking to me, and then Otis started talking to me, and JD started sort of like, okay, cool. Well, everybody.
Well, like I said, if you get up a frequency and a time that you guys are going to do a regular net, just let me know, and I'll put.
Yeah, I mean, the guy that can do it would definitely, from where my work is, anywhere I go.
Very good. Yeah, like I said, just let me know when, and we'll go from there.
Yeah, I just want to let, I don't know if Jeff, if you can hear me. I couldn't hear you before, so that, new antenna up in the attic and the radio giving me S9, I couldn't hear you before.
Awesome, Frank. Awesome. WD4 BW.
Yeah, just got a nice signal now. Wasn't so nice before, but now it's great.
Give me down RKK.
Yeah, we'll catch you later, Frank. That was Frank Kilo. Who else? North.
WB0NOL.
Hey, I'm not going to talk if your wife is listening. How's that?
Yep. She said it again tonight.
I'll take it as a compliment.
You might as well. Yeah, leaves me alone 2 nights a week. That's kind of nice.
Eliminator.
Eliminator. But, well, I'm not sure what I'd call it.
How about
There you go.
Yeah, very good. Yeah, just turn down the volume. We're ahead.
It works good this way. I kind of like it. I can.
Oh no, I know it's. I mean, what she doesn't know, people do hear me on the air quite a bit, but there's also a great deal of time I'm not on the air.
Yeah. Hey, what is the D-Star frequency that got up? And is there a time?
No, not a time. I think it's just random, like during drive time or stuff like that. Frank, what was that frequency again? 530?
146, 535. I mean, I'm there usually at 5:30, give or 6:15.
Great. I'll look for you there, Frank.
All right. North end of Wilson County, up by the Weather Bureau or the weather, whatever it is, National Weather Service. That's what it is. Where the radar station is, up in that neck of the woods. It's Whiskey Bravo 0, November Oscar, and that's Mark, of course. And he's also got a D-Star radio. It's amazing how many D-Star radios are out there. Who else we got? North. Anybody else north? To the west, then. West, please come now. Everybody, please come now.
November 4, Delta Juliet Tango.
Did I wake you up there, Don? We didn't have any more. We had like, I don't know, 16 or. I'm amazed we had so few here from the north.
Paul, anybody else on that? I just been I got a new preamp in the mail, little down east microwave kit. Here's the 17 dB gain mass mounted preamp. We'll start building out here. Once I finish up the towers and down there helping Carl finish up his setup, and then time permitting, get back up here and start slapping some of these 6 meter and 2 meter antennas together.
Yeah, there's always something to do if you're trying to move forward.
You know, I want to be done. I want to be done and relaxed. I have further plans, but I got to get some of my plate cleared first, and then I'll enjoy it for a little.
Well, very good, Don. I'm glad to have you on the net again, of course. That's November 4th. Tango. He's in Bon Aqua. Good signal. Had some recent successes with putting up a tower and some antennas, and it's going there. Who else? West or north? Please come in.
Whiskey 4, Alpha Whiskey.
Ah, very good. I knew I could get you out of there if you were home, John.
Yeah, looks like a pretty good turnout here tonight.
It's pretty much a little better than average at the moment. I mean, you're number 26, so that's quite a lump there.
It is indeed.
Still, I guess I'm still a little in awe. I just do the net with the number of people that do have an interest in communicating with 2 meters, on Simplex, and which leads to other things as we've that this was going to be this. I would have said, yeah, sure, yeah.
Yeah, well, when people find an interesting challenge, especially one based on a simple of simplex, which is the essence of ham radio anyway. It's surprising, but even a small group tends to reinforce itself.
Enforcement, it happens among peers, and it's not really just want to do better.
Yeah, and being on VHF, it's a nice, simple problem in terms of we're not really affected by sunspots or the typical influences of HF. So it becomes it really does boil it down to the feed lines and making the best of where you're located.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. And it's not can be rocket science, but in the basic modes of having a decent antenna and a decent elevation and a decent radio, it doesn't.
But it's an interesting microcosm. Being 2 meters, it's instead of trying to chase and work the world, you've got an interesting challenge of, okay, can I now talk to who I have not been able to hear?
Oh, absolutely, and that's what I really think that the YouTube feed helped some people understand nobody, and it made them go, how come I can't hear that guy?
Yeah, the YouTube is also a really interesting tool.
The test center, because obviously anybody that can hear me, obviously, those are the people that usually I can, I not only do they hear me, I can hear them. Everybody, at least to give an idea relatively how they do well against others.
And it's got a really nice, simple, interesting, entry. Someone starting out with a 5-watt Baofeng with a decent antenna can very actively participate.
It's a 5-watt radio, I should say. But if they can do in brand new ham, and he puts up a 5-watt, and I've seen it happen. They put up get a 5-watt radio, and they decide I'm going to get a long, get it hung from a tree or from the roof, or and then all of a sudden I can hear them great.
Yeah, I remember it would be easy to make. I remember the Forestry Service years ago used to issue. It's a little backpack antenna that they gave to rangers to. It had about 40 feet. It was some small diameter coax, and it wasn't. It was something fairly low. And then I think the element 30 or 40 feet the active part, because it was a series of stacked 5/8 waves, but it was a form of a wire that they could try to get it up over the limb of a tree.
Yep, I'm with you. Yeah, I did that on public service things a few years ago, and I knew I was going to be in the middle of the woods because it was one of these off-road feedline and a way to string up an antenna up on a tree. And
Yeah, it works amazingly well. Even if it was just a simple, coaxial half wave by pulling the other end of that nylon string, it does work.
oh yeah, no, in this case I had still have it. I have it's it worked fantastic, and it still works fantastic.
But anyway, great to hear you tonight, and I'll talk to you later on Sideband.
All right, very good, John. Good to have John in there. For Whiskey Echo, and he's in Bellevue. Who else? Anybody else north or west?
Can for TJF.
They
Had a great breakfast. Didn't have a whole lot of fun.
are better, but I prefer we had 10 or 11 there, and that we had a high of 20 something one time, but anywhere between 2 and 50 is good for me.
Absolutely. Yeah, man, I missed stuff. I can't believe Eddie wasn't there. Usually he's there first, and I didn't see Rick.
Oh yeah, no. Well, Eddie, I don't know if you heard it earlier. He had a cold, and he got to blow out candles with a Kleenex in front of his face, I guess.
Well, happy birthday, Ed. Okay, well, good.
Very good. That's Rick. Rick's got a good signal out of city, and that's Kilo November 4 Tango Juliet Foxtrot. And he's still working on putting up a 5-element beam pointing in this direction. And east of me, obviously, those that are on that perimeter over to the east, putting up a 5-element beam here shortly. Making another one, making progress. Good to have you in there, Rick. Who else is north or west? Okay, slightly older, but slightly higher. How's that?
Well, that'll work for me.
No, no slurs there.
Yeah, me too. I know what you mean.
Yeah, very good breakfast this morning as well, Michael.
Yeah, I always have a great time. Had a good conversation with Robin and the others. I go blank when trying to remember names.
Oh yeah, well, yes, of the people that are on the email list, so that they're called. It's a list of about 90 people, so it'll be a good reference point. Oh yeah, who are at sure. Now it was a good time. I always learn a small amount because there's a lot to learn.
Well, Rick is going to acquire a 50, and we're going to get that diamond up in the air. So maybe he'll be able to hear better even without the beam.
If you do that, he'll have to be the Western net control.
That sounds like a winner to me.
All right, very good. Good to have you in. Kilo Mike for Yankee Romeo Foxtrot. He's in Belshire, and that's Rick's brother, who's over in Ashland City. And good to have you. Nobody else north or west?
Kilo.
Hey, Larry, how are you?
I'm good. Just saying.
See, it's not Larry? Kilo Oscar for Bravo Oscar, you said?
Yeah, Warren's on my ticket.
Oh, okay. I got you. So it is Larry, though, is the name you prefer.
It's a hacker alias.
All righty, and not Larry. Is it KNOT? All right, very good. That's Kilo Oscar for Bravo Oscar. Did you do that as a vanity call?
Okay.
Oh, that's cool. BOO. Can't ask for a cooler one than that.
I just came in last week. I've got scored a Yaesu FT Craigslist, hooked it up to a marine antenna I've got on top of this houseboat, and thought I'd give a call.
Oh, so you're living on a house? Is something you do for fun?
I spend every night that I can. I share an apartment in Bellevue, but
well, like an old friend of mine who's since passed away, he called apartment.
But it's nice to get up in the morning and make that cup of coffee and out onto the lake.
Oh yeah, I know what you're talking about. That's terrific. What kind of you say you got a marine antenna? What type of that?
Yeah, it's just a little vertical that came with the hurricane radio in the boat. I have no idea what it is.
Well, it's working fine for you. But you're on. Where are you now? Are you on Percy Priest? Did you say?
Yeah, I'm up near the dam. We're right up here at Elm Hill Marina.
Ah, okay. Yeah, you do. Here in Mount Juliet, as you can imagine, because it's not that far with the dam. I don't know. Maybe it's. I'm going to guess. As the crow flies, 7 miles, 8 miles, something like that. High elevation. Funny how from Mount Juliet going south, it goes right over most. I do well on both sides of Percy Priest Lake and all the way down into Murfreesboro and Smyrna and Antioch and most of the places down south. Oh.
Yeah, I'm sure you know how clear you're coming through here.
I'd have to heard me down there. I'm not going to hear it, but no, I'm sure it's pretty good. Well, very good, very good. Not Larry. How's that? Not Larry, and he's this past week. It's Kilo Oscar 4. I never saw Kilo Oscar. Huh. Kilo Oscar 4 Bravo Oscar. Very good. Good to have you in there. And is your email good on QRZ? I say, is your email good on QRZ? Or do you have an email?
I don't believe so. It's just not Larry at Hotmail, but I can get it up.
Oh no, I'll just. Oh yeah, you can get it on there. But I was just going to invite you to join the email group first.
Yeah, I heard y'all come up, so I checked the frequency on the internet, of course, and then I started watching the live stream. So.
Ah, very good. Well, I'm glad to have you in there. And again, that Bravo Oscar, and the name is Not Larry, Notlarry, and he's over on Percy Priest on a boat. Who else? Is there anybody else? Anybody else late check-ins? Any lurkers, lollygaggers, sandbaggers, scanners, SDR donglers. My mind's going blank here. And what else do we have? Oh yeah, the preppers, end-time survivalists, and the flat earthers. That's what we got. All right, and then we had 29 in here, by the way, unless we get somebody else.
Oh, I guess I can.
All of them.
All of them? I don't think there's a cure for that.
You notice if you had flat earthers, everybody on the planet would be able to hear me, and it would prove that the flat earth. Yeah, it is. Are you at the house?
Roger. I guess we won't go down that path, right?
Frank was talking about what you and he were doing and some of the accomplishments and how you guys are moving forward.
Oh yeah. Yeah, we got some things taken care of, and everything's good.
Yeah. Well, very good, Bill. Glad even you were number 30, by the way, tonight.
Yeah, I thought you were on a pretty good trend there, and I thought, man, I better get in there and do that. I'm actually looking here on the internet for a DVD recorder that has, into some CDs, to get things archived.
In the 80s and 90s.
Yeah, that's about right. Prices of them are unbelievable.
Unbelievably high, you mean?
Yeah, they're high because they're not made. People are thinking, oh, I got all these VHS home movies, that kids stuff, and I'd like to archive those onto a hard drive and, get them on a CD.
Well, now you do know that software and some hardware that you can just use to go right from a VHS deck over to your computer.
That might be a way to do it.
That's why I know it exists.
Ah, perfect.
Hey, if I'm not mistaken, I'm pretty sure that's where I got it.
Well, I'll take a look at that. That'll be the answer to the problem.
It's really funny because we used to think VHS was the bomb, and then along comes CDs and thumb drive.
All changed.
Yeah, well, it was some years ago. I think it was Wednesday. There was a cartoon somewhere, a single thing cartoon. It was a woman buying, a system, and the commentary under it she said, I will buy this stereo if you'll guarantee me there will never.
Good luck on that one. I was in both the VHS beta battles, working from the
Blu-ray and HD DVD. Toshiba was primary on that and worked for them at the time. And I still have some of their, some movies and things that were on HD DVD, and by far it was better than picture quality. It just, I think the software and then the name Sony just killed us.
I don't think it was as good as laser.
Probably not. No, those things were fine too.
Yeah, I know, but they were unwieldy.
Yeah, they were boat anchors. I think so. I remember seeing those things, and it first came out, and those things were heavy. I mean, to tell you, they were heavy. Those VHS VCR.
Fine. When I worked at a hospital in Tampa, we had it wasn't VHS. It was like a format what it was sitting here, but they used it for training for employees and for patients in their own care, and hospital. And they to move that thing had to be on a cart because it was almost, you break your arm carrying it.
Well, listen, let's get back to the net. Good talking to you, Paul. We'll kiss you on the next round.
Yeah, well, you just run the risk. We're going to talk about you. You know what the problem is.
That's probably.
All right, very good. That was Bill, Kilo 4 Whiskey Uniform, who was not at the breakfast this morning, but since we have no rules, it doesn't matter. East, northeast of me. A few miles. Late check-ins, please come out.
Copy, well, 4G.
Hey, man, you came in really late. How you?
Slept through the net, pretty much.
Well, you got to stop working Saturday. Oh, yeah, just don't kill yourself doing it. Yeah, no, well, my wife works. They're in their middle to late 60s, and they're still working 40 hours a week, and they're still taking lots of overtime. And
I'm sure they could, but they probably don't want to. Body holds up, so I'll become idle.
You're right. You do have to. I just don't. Well, again, I retired 10 years. Remained idle because being idle is to deteriorate. You just mentioned.
True, that is true, but I don't know. I just got when I had my bypass surgery. First couple of months, I didn't feel like doing anything, but getting to that third do things I couldn't. It just really, made me go kind of stir crazy because I was wanting to do things and I couldn't. I just, like to, stay active.
No, absolutely. Staying active is the key. Well, let me move on. And he's in Madison. Anybody else before we move on? Nothing heard. Now we're going to go to the buy, sell, swap, and swindle net. Is anybody anything want to buy? Nothing. Anybody think I got to sell?
Still have 300 plus feet.
Offer, or is that price per foot or what?
Deal, and I'm looking for 75 cents a foot.
Okay, Robin, K4 IDC has about 300 feet of 99.13, and that's is that 50 ohm? I'm not familiar with that product.
Braid over foil shield, RGA style coax, rated up through 500 megahertz.
Right.
It'll do it.
Yeah, I'm telling you, that's the 10 gauge. It might not be able to hear Robin. That's the 9913 is a Belden 9913. It's a 10 gauge center conductor, and it's got it's a good buy. Would like to sell the whole reel. Did you tell me the price? Because I didn't write it down. All righty, 75 cents a foot is a good bargain for that kind of cable, I'm sure. It's been it's been sitting inside, right?
Yeah.
Robin, K4 IDC, 300 feet about of 9913, and that's a 10 gauge conductor. So if you're running legal limit or you absolutely want 300 feet of feed line, that 10 gauge has very little loss, and that's about 75. It is 75 cents a foot. Who else? Anybody else got anything they want to? And Robin's good on curiosity. Nothing heard. Very good. And we're going to move on to the. If anybody does have anything they want to sell, don't hesitate to post it on the reflector on the email site, that groups.io site. Need technical information, just post it to the group. All right, I'm going to move on to the 231 check-ins tonight, which is we haven't had over 30 in a while, and so talked it because the other last week's net was, I forget what it was, or not the last net we had was, I forget, 20, 21, and now here we're at 30. And there's still people missing that are routine check-ins here, so it just depends on who shows up. All righty, well, I'm moving over to 144. Check-in the next few seconds. Very good. Moving on to 144, 240. Bear with me while I go over and change the
things and networks that they had on. Got the SWR right at 1.8 to 1, but it didn't seem to make a huge amount of.
We got people out.
The footprint would have been a little different.
Hey, break.
Yeah, guys, Paul, take over in that, man. And for DJT, we were just waiting for you guys.
All right, no, you sound good. That's the first time I've gone onto that frequency and somebody's already there. I was hoping it wasn't interlopers or interloper. Very good. Good to have you in there, Don. Let's do that again. We're going to start as on 144.240. This is K4PEW net control. November India 4 Delta. Very good car. PP1. That is Rusty there. And got Sal.
Kilo November 4, Mike Papa Victor.
Ah, very good. You sound great, Terry. Who else, South? Anybody else south? Over to the east, please come in.
4 Delta Echo Zulu.
You sound great on 2-meter sideband there, Earl. Who else? East. Anybody else east?
Don't hear anybody around this neck of the woods on the east side.
No, very good. I just thought I heard something back there in the background. I think it was my imagination. All right. Who else? North then? November Oscar. No, I know that's not your full call.
No, but I got.
All right. You're presuming I can remember your call.
We got one.
I got Mark in there. That's Whiskey Bravo 0, November Oscar. Who else? Where was I? North. What's going on? Else? Anybody else north? North, please come down. Going over to the west, please come down.
KM4, all right.
Somebody out there?
I'm not hearing anything, Paul.
Okay, just one more time. Anybody from the north? Yeah, west. North or west?
Did you get me, Paul? And for DJT.
Ah, very good. No, I go out of order, but I got you in there, Don. Who else? West or north?
Whiskey 4, Echo.
Yeah, very good, John. Anybody else west? Please come down. Anywhere who I didn't catch already.
K4IDC.
K4IDC. Same antenna.
You said
that. I don't think you'll care. I just anyway. You go through 40 or 50 names and see if you remember everybody simultaneously.
Yeah, but he'll remember these days.
You mean he hasn't already snapped?
I think he's rewinding his rubber band.
All right, very good. Anybody else? Any place, anywhere? Please come down.
KN4LXH.
Hey, me.
Yeah, thank you very much. See ya.
All right, very good. Anybody else? Please come down. All right, late check-ins and anybody else? No, nobody there. Very backwards. We had Kilo November 4 Lima X-Ray Hotel. That's Jimmy here in over northeast Wilson, northeast Mount India Delta. Charlie, who is I think his name is Robin, south of me about 5 miles. Whiskey 4 Alpha, Whiskey Echo John and Bell Delta Juliet Tango Don and Bon Aqua, Kilo Mike 4 Yankee Romeo Foxtrot Michael in Bellshire, and Mark Whiskey Bravo 0 November Oscar here in North Weather Bureau. Earl Kilo Echo 4 Delta Echo Zulu over by Noreen, just east of the Cedars of Lebanon. And Mike Papa Victor in Murfreesboro, and Rusty November 8 Papa Yankee, and he is in Murfreesboro as well. Carl November India 4 Delta, and he's in Brentwood. See, I got the name, I remember. Let me count real quick.
That was 12.
I got verification already. Very good. That's a good net. Appreciate everybody being there and closing down the group here. You're welcome to stick around and